Jordan, how was it out there today? It seemed like it was pretty windy in the afternoon, pretty tough.
Yeah, it was very challenging. That was a tough track today. Almost every hole was a side wind hole, and the wind was flipping, a little down, little into, and it was tough to get the right yardage, let alone the accuracy. So it was a struggle. I felt like really hung in there nicely. I had 3 bogeys today. A couple, one of them was really unlucky, and a couple were unforced. But is that still clicking, or is that? No, it's all good. I just can't. I'm trying to think. So yeah, it was very difficult. Felt like, for the most part, to grab 5 birdies on a day like today. If I could do that tomorrow, I think I'll be in good shape.
What about the greens? There seemed to be a lot of runoff, difficult to, a lot of small landing areas, a lot of good shots seem to run off the greens.
Yeah, they're a different color today. They're baked. They're very shiny. They've firmed up significantly, and then with this wind, there were putts that were lightning fast. So the winds, because of how firm and kind of matted down the greens are, the wind's really affecting the putts, and that's making it very difficult even from 3 feet. So, and I think I saw the forecast tomorrow is going to be pretty much the same day as today. So if the greens get even firmer, it's going to be a really, really tough test tomorrow, one you just got to grind.
And you grew up in Texas, of course, where it can get pretty windy, so you don't, generally speaking, mind playing in the wind, do you?
No, I don't mind it. Certainly don't mind it at all. I would almost prefer it. Wind in a very difficult golf course, I feel like plays into my hands. So hopefully, I can get out there tomorrow and give it my best stuff.
Questions, ladies and gentlemen, and please use the microphone for the transcript. Rod?
All the players have come through here, yourself, Rory, Adam, Brett Rumford just a minute ago, all have said they feel like this golf course should give up a low score, but we haven't seen it yet. Is that frustrating as a player to feel like you should be shooting a better number? And what are your thoughts on why that might be? Yeah,
I think in the first 2 rounds I was very surprised that there wasn't a low number. Today, I don't see it out there. Tomorrow, if it's the same conditions as today, I don't see a low number out there. I think it's going to be a grind, and a lot of holes are going to be ones where you got to play away from the pin and accept par and try and take advantage of the easier holes. So, but yeah, in general, I think this golf course, I felt like yesterday morning I was very, very frustrated. I got off to a tough start, and there was no wind, and the greens were receptive, and I think I shot 1 or 2 over on my front 9, on a front 9 where if you're going to score, that was one where you could shoot 30 or, really go low. So I just don't see that being possible anymore.
Second question, and it's been 2 hard work days for you. You spoke about, on the first day, admiring Adam Scott and how he kept it together 5 over through the front 9, which is an awful place to be. How have you felt about the way you've dealt with that in the last 2 rounds when things have been difficult? Clearly at the top of the leaderboard must be pretty good, I think.
What's that for?
How you felt you've dealt with it. You said you thought you should learn from Adam.
Yeah, yesterday the 8 and 9, my 17th and 18th holes were what kept me in it. I went from shooting. I was in the fairway bunker on 8 with a very difficult shot, looking, staring 4 over in the face for the round and going back to even par, and turned it into 3 under for the tournament to then 5 today. So those were big holes. Again, there's no surprise that Adam's in at 4, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with tomorrow because of the way he does deal with adversity. So calm and always fights back with a birdie or 2. So I'm going to really need to draw back on yesterday's round, look at, when it was difficult, how was I able to kind of come together and clean it up. So, look for a very solid round tomorrow.
Any more questions, Rod? Down here.
Hi, Jordan. Can you tell us what happened at the 9th and talk through how you felt about it? It must be quite frustration when it was difficult to get scores today.
That happens. It's actually happened quite a few times this year, which is funny, but it happens to everybody. I hit my drive left under a tree, and then the smart play was to punch out, so I punched out to a pretty good number. I think I had 76 yards to the hole, so I could just kind of flip a wedge under it and get some spin. and it was right on line, and took one short hop, and I think it may have, as it was descending on after the first hop, it hit the pin and had a lot of spin on it, so it came all the way back off the front of the green. It's one of those where, yes, at the time, I was 2 under and playing a really good round, didn't want to make a bogey, and thought that, I think that ball would have been no more than 6 feet past the hole. So that was definitely frustrating, but by the time I got up to the green, that happens, and let's get it in 2 and move on to a good back 9.
More questions?
It's funny how often it can happen.